upon a time there was a little boy. This little boy was born with a Stran's condition. You see, this little boy was born without a body. He had no arms, no legs, and no torso. He was just a head. Because he was still a little boy head, he had little boy desires, and his parents couldn't bear to see him in his room, just sitting there lonely, nothing to do. So his parents attached his head to a piece of 204 board so it would stay upright. I think they used double-sided tape. I'm not sure. It could have been glue. Anyway, they decided to set the little boy's head onto his windowsill in his room during the day so he could watch all the other boys across the street play catch in the field. At least then, he could imagine being a regular boy and playing ball outside with other regular boys. So every day, he watched the other kids play catch, and every night he went to bed, he wished really hard to be a normal boy with arms, legs, and a torso so he could go across the street and play with the other kids. He was so lonely. All he could do was roll around in his room because he was nothing but a head. One particular night, the little boy head had enough. He was becoming depressed, anxious, and he could not hold out any longer. He couldn't do it. This was no life for a little boy, being either taped or glued to a board and spending his days gazing longingly out a window where just across the street was a life he knew he'd never have. It was just about time for his parents to come and carry him into bed. The sun was dipping below the horizon as he watched all the other boys laugh and fake punch each other as they left the field to go home on their regular legs to their regular lives. It was then that the little boy saw it, a shooting star. Quickly he wished really hard. This was his last chance, because if this didn't work, he might become depressed forever and watch television for the rest of his days. He wished for the biggest wish of all, that he might become a regular little boy with regular arms and regular legs so he could go play with the other regular boys. After some time of wishing very hard, he fell asleep on the windowsill. His mother came and tucked him in as he slumbered. The next morning, blanket up to his chin, he awoke to the sound of cheerful birds singing and rays of sunlight peeking through his curtains, drawing shapes on his bedroom wall. He could hear the regular boys playing across the street, laughing and joking gleefully. Still groggy from sleep, he felt something under the covers. Looking down, it was as though someone put pillows down there. But he was the pillows? He could move? He had a body? He threw the covers off to discover a full body. Like the force of 1,000 lightning bolts, he jumped out of his bed and darted through the bedroom door, and all the way out the front door before his parents had even had a chance to respond to all the racket. Across the lawn he ran, fast as any regular boy he'd ever seen. This was amazing. He was a regular boy. He reached the pavement of the street separating his yard from the field where the boys were playing ball. In a sheer moment of triumph, the new regular boy reached the center of the street, gaining speed, and all the other regular boys turned their heads toward him. Their surprise gave way to horror as the blare of the horn of an 18-wheeler preceded the sickening thwack sound as the full weight of that vehicle slammed into the kid at a full 55 miles per hour, completely obliterating him. It was all slow motion, but it happened so fast, and if that kid had any shoes on him, they'd have been knocked clean to Kansas. There was a lot of grief, lives broken, things that could not be unseen. That little boy's family buried him 2 days later. All the regular boys attended. It was a solemn occasion, but they remembered the headstone the most. And on the headstone read, "Quit while you're ahead."